Please welcome ECC board member Rachel Jackson.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very warm welcome to our 50th annual ECC conference. Wonderful to see you all. I hope you enjoyed the speakers today. We had some fabulous content. I hope you've reconnected with old colleagues and made some new alliances. It's my absolute pleasure to be on this stage today honoring an individual that has contributed so much to our community and to our industry. So as a native of St Andrews, Scotland, Neil joined the Mobil Oil Company in 1979 following his graduation from Heriot-Watt University. Happens to be an exemplary university and just coincidentally my alma mater. So Neil worked for a number of functional groups for Mobil North Sea until 1983, when he was transferred to London and was involved in planning satellite field developments. Neil has served in a variety of leadership roles with Mobil, platform manager in the North Sea, production advisor for Europe and Africa, operations and Northern North Sea manager, to name just a few. In 1998, Neil was named Senior Vice President of Mobil Oil Indonesia. He had responsibility for exploration and production operations throughout the country. 2 years later, he was named as Vice President of ExxonMobil Development Company with responsibility for Middle Eastern projects. In 2004, he became Vice President Africa of ExxonMobil Production Company. He was then named Executive Vice President of ExxonMobil Development Company in 2006 and became President of ExxonMobil Development Company from 2007 to 2016. Neil serves as the President of ExxonMobil Production Company, and that's a position that he's held since January 2017. In addition to his responsibilities with ExxonMobil Production Company, he also serves on the board of directors for the US-Russia Business Council, the Houston Museum of Natural Science, and the United Way of Greater Houston. Most importantly, Neil and his wife Marianne have 2 children together and a little grandbaby. And more importantly, one thing I've discovered about Neil this evening, he's an avid marathon runner and a fellow Boston Marathon runner. So with that, please sit back and enjoy the montage that you're about to see highlighting Neil's accomplishments.
Neil tells the story of how he used to look out the window of his school in Scotland at the projects in the North Sea. And that's when he knew he wanted to study engineering and take part in major developments. Clearly, he's never lost that vision.
It spanned nearly 40 years, included over 100 major projects, represented more than $300 billion in capital investment, and reached virtually every corner of the world. Yet the true measure of Neil Duffin's career is not simply where it has taken him, but rather where it has advanced the people, the projects, and the industry he has touched.
Neil's personal integrity, his high standards, his discipline, his transparency, these are all things that really set an example for all the leaders in our industry.
He's honest, he's straightforward, what you see is what you get. He's the same guy today, running the most significant part of the biggest oil and gas company in the world that he was 30 years ago when you would have met him in the North Sea on a platform.
After studying mechanical engineering at Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh, Neil joined Mobil Oil in 1979.
Those were really exciting days. It was sort of the heyday of the North Sea, and we were doing amongst the first subsea wells in the North Sea at the time. We were doing amongst the first subsea fracks in the North Sea at the time. We were drilling amongst the first subsea horizontal wells. And I watched Neil lead that, and I had the chance to participate in most of it. And over the years, those firsts have followed him, whether it's Qatar and the large trains, whether it's Sakhalin with world record drilling, firsts seem to follow Neil.
Neil moved to Jakarta in 1998, overseeing what would become Indonesia's largest oil project in decades, the Banyu Urip field, a $3.5 billion project to develop more than 729 million barrels of oil. Through innovation and excellence in project management, production was increased dramatically, Reserves far exceeded even the highest expectations.
Sebagai pemerintah, tentu saya mengharapkan yang terbaik. Terbaik dari produksi dan terbaik daripada kembangannya kepada masyarakat dan juga tentu para investor.
Banyu Urip transformed the way companies, suppliers, vendors, the workforce, and surrounding communities came together on a common purpose, creating an industry example of collaboration and performance that continues to be heralded to this day.
You tend to follow Neil because you know he's going to do great things, and people really want to work for Neil. He has a way of embracing loyalty in his team that I've never seen in a leader.
Late 1999 marked the merger of Exxon and Mobil, and with it came new frontiers for Neil. Under Neil's leadership, ExxonMobil and his partners successfully completed a range of world-class projects in Russia's extreme eastern region. With a harsh subarctic environment, remote location, and sensitive marine ecosystem represented some of the most challenging conditions the industry had ever confronted.
Over the years, Neil has consistently demonstrated just extraordinary leadership in an industry that's sometimes pretty challenging.
The Sakhalin 1 project has set several milestones for safety and environmental performance, along with world records for drilling, including well bore, horizontal reach, and coring depth.
People that work for Neil would give you their very best. They would go the extra mile. He has the uncanny ability to lead by his own behavior.
With Sakhalin 1 projects in successful motion, Neil moved on to be part of the ExxonMobil team that partnered with Qatar Petroleum on the execution of world-class LNG projects and terminals that helped transform Qatar into the world's leading LNG producer.
Neil has always been a professional and a gentleman. It's been a pleasure working with him, and he's a great guy and a class act in every way.
ExxonMobil became part of the development of 12 LNG trains and the creation of the world's largest and most advanced LNG tankers, the Q-Max and Q-Flex.
All these projects are very complex projects that have issues with contractors, with different things that are going on, and he always had a calm head and made sure that we can get things done the right way.
As diverse as they might be by type and geography, every project Neil has led has been built on the same core value: safety and taking care of his people. Neil's passion for safety was clearly evident in his championing of both the CARE model and mining the diamond. Among his many accomplishments, achieving industry-leading improvement in construction safety is among his proudest.
The very first time I was with Neil, I was listening to Neil talk to some of his colleagues, and they were describing a relatively minor accident that happened on a project they were working on in Kazakhstan. I said, wow, if they care that much, then it must be really a core value and important to them.
The Piper Alpha disaster in the North Sea, although at another operating company's platform, had an indelible impact on the industry and Neil. He intensified his efforts to advance the discoveries and initiatives that could help his organization and the industry as a whole.
Piper Alpha dominated the 90s, and everyone got heavily involved in trying to ensure that we fully understood what had happened and it wouldn't happen again. And Neil, at that time, clearly was very focused on safety and was one of the kind of key leaders in that.
As we went to work for ExxonMobil, they pushed us to get better, and we quickly picked up on a lot of their leadership in that area. But it was Neil and his team that really gave us that first kick in the rear, if you will, to say, you guys can be better.
What makes this industry so great is the people that work in it. And Neil is one of those exceptional individuals that you get to meet in your career that you never forget and really thoroughly enjoy working with.
He's a worthy winner because of his industry achievements. He's a worthy winner because of the example that he sets as well in so many different ways.
Neil, congratulations on receiving this very prestigious award, very well deserved. Wish you and your family all the best.
So Neil, congratulations on this Lifetime Achievement Award. I honestly can't think of anybody who deserves it more.
A big personal congratulations, Neil. I am really delighted, but I think all Scotland should feel very proud of you right now. Well done.
Neil, congratulations. This is a well-deserved honor. I want to thank you personally for all the things you've done to advance our industry, but more importantly, just being the person you are, the leader you are, the example you have set for many of us to follow.
Ladies and gentlemen, now I'd like to invite our 2018 ECC Achievement Award recipient to the stage. Please welcome Neil Duffin.
Good evening. It's quite something when you see a flash of your whole life go by in such a short period of time. And I can tell you, I just got to say thank you to my company ExxonMobil for giving me these huge opportunities to actually be able to do these fantastic things, not only with the people in the room, but also with the communities that we live with all around the world. It's been a real thrill. Rachel, thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's fair to say you can tell I'm humbled by this award. And I say that because I look at all the people who have received this distinguishing award through all the years before me, and I know some of them, many of them, and I held them in the deepest respect in our industry. It's truly an honor. This recognition comes from the ECC and its members, all of you here in this room, leaders of our capital projects industry, on this, which happens to be the 50th anniversary of this great organization, which is quite an achievement in its own right. For half a century, the ECC has been a vital forum for professionals to collaborate, share knowledge, and most importantly, advance this industry. I'd like to recognize the executive board of the ECC and its chair, Julia Lambert, and past chair, Rachel Jackson, as you've just met, as well as my ExxonMobil colleague and ECC board member, Tony Banzini. Having spent 4 decades now at ExxonMobil, I've worked with and been inspired by hundreds of talented and very, very generous people. Far too many for me to thank personally in my short time here with you this evening. But as I look out into this audience, both within ExxonMobil and within the industry, I see many of the faces that I have actually been in contact with through my career. And I want to thank you very much for your support and your friendship. I think it would be an understatement to say the capital projects industry has changed significantly since I started my career in the North Sea in the late 1970s. I've had the privilege since then to work on many projects in every corner of the globe, from Alaska to Australia, from Arctic conditions to the sweltering tropical heat, from deep water drilling operations to LNG train construction. I've seen firsthand the tremendous evolution of technologies, capabilities that have allowed the energy sector to continually meet the needs of a growing population and economy. And I know many of you in this room have been on the same journey. Few people outside the capital projects industry can easily grasp the scale of the engineering and construction business, the immense challenges that we all face in major project execution, and the dynamic approaches to project finance that are necessary for success, particularly in many of these mega projects that we deal with that go into the billions of dollars. As we push forward into new frontiers of science and materials, design concepts, and geographies, we must continue to be led by innovation, technology, and shared purpose. Through our partnerships and continued focus on excellence, the capital projects industry will be able to deliver the next generation of projects that provide energy, infrastructure, water, transportation, and consumer products to billions of people around the world. I use the term partnerships because one thing I've learned in this industry, particularly for everybody here in the room tonight, it truly is a partnership. I have learned that Together, if we start off with a shared vision of what we're trying to achieve, the shared values, a contract that both sides agrees to and clearly understands, that we're really setting ourselves on the road to success. And I extend that as well to our journey in safety. You heard the story about Piper Alpha, but there have been many more, and I think the one that hit me as much as Piper Alpha was the Alexander Keelan. I went offshore just shortly afterwards, and I was standing on the grating and looking underneath at the North Sea, and just thinking about these poor folks who'd suffered when that rig hit such a great tragedy. And it had a big impact on me. And something that I've shared with everybody as I've gone through my career, that collectively, whether it be business, whether it be our contracts, whether it be our relationships, whether it be our focus on safety, together we can make a huge difference. And that translates into success. And I think when you put all of these components together, we truly, as a collective group here, can do unbelievable things in our industry that so many people in this world depend on us doing day in, day out on a global basis. And we can do it. Talking to some people tonight about digital transformation, no doubt in some of the talks that you've heard here today, how we can move forward and grasp some of these new ideas from outside our industry and bring them in. Yes, there's going to be some resistance, but we've got to be open to take account of these as we move forward to transform our industry into the new vision of what's coming forward. I can tell you from 40 years ago what we've been able to achieve in so many elements of our business, and so what we're going to be able to do from here on forward. I'm getting closer to the latter part of my career. For many folks here, there's so much more to see and to bring forward. I think it's going to be exciting for absolutely everybody. So through our collective efforts, we're creating jobs, growing economies, and raising living standards. Playing a small part in this broader narrative, I can tell you, has been one of the most rewarding aspects of my career. And I hope for the next 50 years and beyond, the ECC will continue to be a place where professionals can come together to collaborate as we work to meet the needs of society. In closing, and most importantly, I'd love to thank my wife, Marianne, who's stood by me right from the very beginning, from our early days in Heriot-Watt University, all the way through my career, to support me in everything I've done, and every move we've made, and all these new locations for both Marianne and our kids, who are no longer kids anymore, but we're very fortunate to now be moving into the next generation of those. I just want to thank you, especially for your real support. And I've always said, no matter male or female, the support of family is a bonus that is something that you can wear with a badge of honor. It can actually change your whole thought on the whole aspect of our industry. Again, thanks to the ECC and its board for this special recognition. And to you all, it's a real honor for me tonight. I accept this on behalf of myself, my family, and for the great company ExxonMobil, who's given me all these opportunities that I've experienced to date in life, and I'm going to continue enjoying some more. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I've got a little award here. So Neil, on behalf of ECC, it's my absolute pleasure to recognize you as our 2018 and 50th ECC Achievement Award winner. So thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
I got it.
Here's to Heriot-Watt.
Yes.